Quiet neighbourhoods and closed cafes in Paris as France begins a new lockdown. The picturesque area of Montmartre nearly empty. The French government says the measure will help stop the coronavirus spread, but for some, staying home a second time won't be easy.
I don't think lockdown is the best idea because it only delays things. So in the short term, things may get better, but once the lockdown is lifted, it will be the same as before and cases will rise again.
We expected it. It seems necessary. They tried a curfew, but it didn't work. So now the most important thing is for everyone to play the game, to respect it, so we can live normally again.
There was some traffic in the city centre. The government's allowed some businesses and public services to remain open to help buoy the struggling economy. But office buildings in the financial district were shut. Well, in the centre of Paris's business district, there are a few people out and about, but it's nowhere near as busy as it would be normally on a regular day. Tens of thousands of people work in this area, and the square behind me would usually be teeming with activity. A second wave is battering economies and people's health across Europe. In Russia, new infections are rising fast. Some doctors say medical supplies are running out. In Germany, some hospitals may not have enough staff to cope with the emergency.
The number of patients has risen in the past few days. In the past week, we've had twice, even 3 times more patients than before. We still have capacity to provide good care, but we are seeing a fall in care supply. Our staff is slowly reaching their limit.
The European Union says the bloc must act fast not to be overwhelmed. Leaders have agreed to pay for the transfer of patients across borders. In a virtual meeting, EU health ministers promised to better coordinate their approach.
We're not powerless in the face of it. After all, there are hygiene measures and we can wear masks, but we need to coordinate measures with other member states, and that came across very clearly. But it's important that people take charge of their own responsibilities on a daily basis.
The French government had wanted to avoid a second shutdown at all costs, ruling out such a measure until very recently. But the spiralling infection rate made them change their strategy. Germany will also lock down. The urgency of the situation suggests other European countries may be forced to follow suit. Natacha, Butler, Al Jazeera, Paris.